Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm May, Senior UX Designer at Google. In today's video, we'll be discussing the importance of storytelling during job interviews and how you can use design thinking to tell effective stories that showcase your skills and experiences. Research has shown that using targeted stories during job interviews can significantly improve your chances of getting hired. In fact, participants who answered past behavioral questions with a story received better hiring recommendations from interviewers. However, most participants used stories only 23% of the time, so let's use stories. Telling a vivid, awesome story in interview might not be the easiest thing, but don't worry, there's a technique that can help you become a more skillful storyteller. A study by Serene Lynn Stephens and her colleagues found that practicing, training, and referring to relevant images can help participants become more skillful storytellers during interviews. So, how do you find the right story moment during a job interview? Well, you can use the Double Diamond Development Framework to guide you. Interviewers are looking for 3 key qualities in candidates: leadership, problem solving, and communication. The first phase of design is the discovery phase, where you focus on gathering data and identifying the extra problem or opportunity. During the discovery phase, you can prepare a story about how you worked with stakeholders to align goals and define the user group through a workshop. This story can illustrate how you encouraged innovation to happen and how you set the stage for future success by fostering a culture of user research. To highlight your problem-solving skills during the discovery phase, you can prepare a story to emphasize how you used research to gain insights. Finally, you can prepare a story that focuses on storytelling about your user on this challenge to inform the team, so the team can grow empathy for the users as well. This story can showcase your ability to communicate complex ideas and information to your team in a clear and concise manner, which can be incredibly valuable during the discovery phase. The second phase of design is the define phase, where you filter through data and find a direction. To demonstrate your leadership skills, you can prepare a story about how you used a prototype to align the vision and keep the team informed with contextual information, or how you spotted an opportunity to improve user experience and developed a design principle to guide your team's work. To showcase your problem-solving skills, you can prepare a story about how you conducted user testing to identify pinpoints in your design and iterated on it to improve the user experience, or how you identified potential roadblocks in the project timeline and worked with the team to come up with a feasible plan. To demonstrate your communication skills, you can prepare a story about how you presented your design direction to stakeholders and how you convinced them of its value, or how you communicated this project's goals and design principles to the team and ensured everyone was on the same page. The third phase of design is development phase, where you focus on design development such as lo-fi and hi-fi. To demonstrate your leadership skills, you can prepare a story about how you ensured user needs drove your design, not just the internal leadership team. To showcase your problem-solving skills, you can prepare a story about how you understood technical constraints and trade-offs to make informed design directions. And to demonstrate your communication skills, you can prepare a story that how you told your design process and kept the team on the same page along the way. The final phase of design is the delivery phase, where you work closely with engineers and PMs to launch the product. To demonstrate your leadership skills, you can prepare a story about how you drove visual QA testing to improve product quality. To showcase your problem-solving skills, you can prepare a story about how you conducted final tests with users on your design, just to make sure that everything's been captured. And to demonstrate your communication skills, you can prepare a story about how you conducted a user feedback loop after launch to bring insights back for the next version. So let's test out if this framework works. Let's use this example. Tell me about a time when you had to compromise with the development team on the design of a feature. How did you resolve the issue? Let's use the STAR method from the last session to tell this story. To refresh your memory, the STAR method stands for situation, task, action, and result. You want to structure your answer around these 4 components to make sure you're giving a comprehensive and a clear response. So let's take a look at how you can use this method to showcase your problem-solving skills during the design development phase. First, you want to set the situation. Explain the project you were working on, the feature that you were designing, and the constraints you were facing. For example, you could say, during the design development phase of a recent project, we ran into an issue where the development team was concerned about the feasibility of a particular feature. This feature was very important for the user experience, so I had to find a way to make it work within the technical constraints of the project. Next, you want to describe the task. What was your specific role in the project, and what were your responsibilities? You could say something like, first, I had to understand the technical limitations that the development team was facing. I sat down with them and went through the technical requirements for the project. I also asked questions to clarify any technical constraints that might impact the design. Now it's time to talk about the action you took. Here's where you can highlight your problem-solving skills. Explain how you approached the problem and the steps you took to resolve the issue. You could say something like, once I understood the constraints, I worked on finding a compromise that would satisfy both the design and technical requirements. I presented a few design options to the team, along with a breakdown of the pros and cons of each approach. I also explained how each design direction would impact the user experience. Finally, you want to talk about the result. What was the outcome of your actions, and how did it benefit the project? You could say something like, after reviewing the options with the team, we agreed on a design that was feasible for the development team and still met the user's needs. We were able to work together to make sure the design was implemented successfully. After this feature got launched, the monthly active user has increased for 5%. In summary, I was able to use my problem-solving skills to understand the technical constraints and find a solution that met both the design and technical requirements for this project. By using the STAR method, you can showcase your problem-solving skills during the development phase. Just in case, let's try another question. Can you tell me a situation where you presented research insights to stakeholders? How did you prepare, and what were the results? Here's the example answer using the STAR method. During a recent project, I was leading the discovery phase for a new mobile app that our team was developing. We had conducted extensive user research to understand the needs and pain points of our target audience, and had identified some key insights that we believed would help us create a more user-centric product. My task was to present these research insights to stakeholders, including product managers, marketing team, and developers. I knew that it was crucial to gather buy-ins and support for our design direction, and to ensure that everyone on the team was aligned and working towards the same goals. To prepare for this presentation, I created a slide deck that included user personas, key insights, and design recommendations. I also made sure to tell a clear story to help bring the research to life and make it more engaging for the audience. During the presentation, I started by providing some context on the project and the research process. I then shared the user personas and the key insights, explaining how we arrived at each conclusion and what it meant for the design direction. I also highlighted some potential challenges and trade-offs that we would need to consider as we move forward. Throughout the presentation, I made sure to engage the stakeholders by asking questions and encouraging feedback. I also emphasized the importance of keeping the user needs at the forefront of our design decisions and explained how the insights we had gathered would help us create a more successful product. As a result of the presentation, I was able to get buy-in from the stakeholders and ensure that everyone was on the same page. We were able to move forward with a clear design direction that was informed by user research and supported by the entire team. This helped us to create a more successful product that was well received by our target audience. In conclusion, using the framework we have discussed today can be a helpful tool to prepare for behavioral questions in UX design interviews. While some questions may be more general, you can quickly pivot the story that you prepared to identify relevant stories. Remember to use the STAR method to structure your answers and emphasize the design thinking methods you used in your product building process. If you're unsure about how to answer a particular question, don't hesitate to leave a comment and we can brainstorm together. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye!